So uh, so we were talking about function, and that's the way that like it's have been working. Yeah. So just we can run it, you know, and just we have available the new features, right? We have some example here as we can do some and create some closure here or any function. We can also create some function and boolean as well. We can create another. So this is what we have been seeing so far. The extension let us to add new features to type that you didn't create yet. Anything that you add as a type extension exactly the same way as we build into the original type. The extension can add method and computed properties, but not stored properties. Extensions are also useful for organizing your code and separating your code and features of type, and you can create also extension that can help to make your code easier and read and understandable. So let's talk about now properties, compute computed properties in extension. So we have we were talking about very early in this book regarding the computed properties, and we as you remembered that the computed properties it's 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 like the following. So suppose that you have some property and says lactose free, and can be other things lactose free, right? And yeah, it's a closure, right? And we can put that as a bool, right? And we can say like a if, right? Ingredients contain, like we can put like this, contain any walls called like a cheese, it is lactose free, right? And we can like return true. So it means that, so it means false, right? So it means that we can, as soon as we type the lactose free, we all immediately it going to check the string that it has and call like an ingredient and says that as is it has like a cheese, right? So we have this one in which and it's automatically check if it's like this. So suppose it is like something like that, we only have to check if the ingredient has this value, and we can automatically we can know if it's another way to create computed. It's like we can the computed we can also add like this, right? So let's continue. We can also initialize our class that was not initialized properly, or if you need to add another way or another property or method that you need to add in fields here, you can just specify and create another in it, right? But because it's like a second chance, suppose that you have been creating and you have been working in one class and you forget about how it works, so you are going to have a second chance to add more function and forget about it, you know, all the things. So we have here another exercise that I recommend you to fill. It is like fill this one, so extension, right? Just feel like the extension that you are going to extend, right? Suppose that is int, you put return self because it's square, self charge square self. Just put the name here, and it's going to return like this, right? So etc. So extension are protocols. We can also extend some protocols as we have been seeing that we can extend um, class as well. So we can also, right, add more functionality to our protocols, right? So let's continue. We also have the protocols compositions here, and we can put like this and says that we can receive two kind of protocols. It could be this one or and this one, right? And we can put like this, right? We can also create our type alias based on two protocols as well. And we can remember that type alias is another name that you can put and give to the properties or protocol or class or structs or num. If you don't like that name that other developer give to that property, you can change it, you know, without touching the protocols, right? So it could be like this, right? RoboQ. And let's continue talking about this. This is the answer in case that you didn't make yet. So we have here two. We have here this one. It is like a struct and says that we have a one specific protocols that we have been create here, and we declare and says I forget to implement the I have been create my structs, right? But I forget to implement the a new functions as I tell you. Suppose that structs that these struct docs were created in 2018 as I mentioned, right? And you don't know how who implemented, and you when you arrive to the project you only says that the doc was were there when you arrive, right, to the project, right? So you have the docs structs, right, and you have also the bar and the values that you have here. So everything is working fine, the application working fine yet, and you need to add a new function to this. So you only inherent from a function, right? This is a great things from Swift. You can inherit another protocols and add to your or class, adding new features, right? With this one method. So it is a great way as as Swift work. So let's continue talking about protocols and confirming that Swift has sequences. It is for loops, and suppose that you want to like iterate some values, so you can convert your function as a iteratable function, right? Like this. So you can do it like this, right? And you says yes, this value is going to be iteratable, so you can put this value, right? My sequences, and we can say next. Yeah, and we can do like this. Yeah, we need to take care about that kind of functionality because it could um create some issue with the performance, right? But yeah, and while you know what you are doing, so for sure, yeah, don't worry, you can you are so smart, right? So let's continue about talking about equatable. Equatable, do you remember when we use equals two times? Equatable is so similar to it, and we can says we have some enums and values, and just to compare two values, suppose that we have two kind of values and two